The tavern's closing. Best be on your way, stranger.
What? No mug of ale for a weary traveller from distant Corhagen? I can reward you well, for I am of noble blood.
I stay open for no man in these dark times. Things come with the night that no sane man would welcome.
And so I left, cold of heart and soul, forced to the road and the long, bitter night.
That's him!
Hey, Victus!
End it! Now!
They, Victus, suffering to the conquered. Ironic that now I was the one suffering. Not anything as pedestrian as physical pain, rather the cruel jab of impotent anger. The hunger for revenge. I didn't care if I was in heaven or hell. All I wanted was to kill my assassins. Sometimes you get what you wish for. The necromancer Mortanius offered me a chance for vengeance, and like a fool, I jumped at his offer without considering the cost. Nothing is free, not even revenge.
You will have the blood you hunger for.
Yo guys, what's going on? This is Jason coming back with another review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the very first Blood Omen Legacy of Kain, or should I say Legacy of Kain Blood Omen, that came out for the PC and PlayStation 1 back in 1996. This is the first game out of the series that would come out before Soul Reaver 1, and of course Blood Omen 2 and Soul Reaver 2 and Defiance. So this time, rather than playing as Raziel, you play as Kain, the patriarch himself. And what's great about this game is what makes this one so unique compared to all the other ones. This is more of a top-down action scroller. It plays much like Zelda. And in this game, you practically do what you look for hidden stuff and goodies and power-ups like Zelda. It plays much like Zelda. Now the story of Blood Omen evolves around a human noble that's Kain, and he's looking to prove himself. But he is assassinated by these two mysterious guys that, show no mercy. They just murdered him. And you find out towards the later in the game that it was set up. Everything was set up on purpose. So Kain is murdered, and he goes to the underworld, and he's given an offer, a deal, from Mortanius. Mortanius is a sorcerer to rise again and to take vengeance on those who killed him, practically making Kain into a vampire. So Kain, is resurrected from the dead and goes hunting for his murderers. He does kill them in cold blood and drink their blood. But you find out later, after killing his murderers, he is called upon a mysterious voice that sounds like the Elder God. Now, it never says it's the Elder God, but I'm assuming it's Mortanius. Because Mortanius, the good character who plays Mortanius, is voiced by the same guy who plays the Elder God. Sorry. So he goes on a journey to go to the Pillars of Nosgoth to meet a female character called, a specter, called Ariel. And Ariel advises you about the Pillars of Nosgoth, how they're corrupt, and the circle has been contaminated with corruption, and it's just poisoning the land, and it's killing Nosgoth. So it's up to Kain to restore the pillars by murdering the guardians, the corrupt guardians, and pretty much bringing an artifact to the pillar, restoring the pillar per pillar. So you go on a journey to take out all the corrupt guardians, but you do come across characters like Vorador, who actually does help you in the game. He actually shares a bit of a philosophy about him taking down Malik. He's a Seraphim warrior, and taking down the Seraphim dogs. He goes on rambling about taking down the Seraphim and how much he hates humans and how vampires shouldn't be meddling with humans. But at the same time, what's cool about Blood Omen 1 is actually the first scene plays into Soul Reaver 2. So there's there's a reference from Soul Reaver 2 to Blood Omen 1. But Kain of course accepts the aid of Vorador, and he actually by that Kain gains an ally. So Kain goes through taking down the various guardians. Of course, his main goal is to take down Malik, because Malik seems to not be able to be killed. But he meets a character called Mobius. Mobius is a time streamer that I said in the first one of my reviews that Mobius is a treacherous character that actually sets up Kain for failure. Everything is orchestrated by Mobius, that practically, if you want to think about it, Mobius is sort of responsible for all the corruption. Now, most people say Mortanius is involved. I would say Mortanius and Mobius are bothly involved for the Pillar's corruption, because if you actually play Defiance, you find out that Mobius and Mortanius were working together to take down the vampires. That was the idea, out of fear, but they find out later that it was a big mistake, because they didn't understand what the Pillars were, and the Pillars are actually the actual, it's almost like it's a force field that keeps out the Hilden. The Hilden are these creatures that practically are like the vampire's adversary, that pretty much are evil, the evil vampires, and etc, etc. So in the end, you find out that everything is, you're set up from the beginning. You're set up from the first beginning of the game. You take out all the guardians, only to be told that you are the last one to die. And of course, on the Kain, this makes Kain angry, because he felt like he was deceived into doing someone else's dirty work, and now he has to give up his life to restore Nosgoth. Now, keep in mind, he's given the choice. He can decline saving Nosgoth and condemning the Pillars to eternal damnation and Nosgoth along with it, or he can sacrifice himself to save Nosgoth and rid of all the corruption. Now, in Blood Omen 2, if we play Blood Omen 2, he actually refused the sacrifice, and pretty much the Pillars are damned. So, with that said and done, everything has been told. Legacy of Kain evolves around deception and betrayal, I would say. But what's interesting about this game is that this game has this game would be the kickstart of Kain trying to rewrite his own destiny. If you actually you find out in Defiance that Kain is trying to rewrite the wrongs, because keep in mind, he was set up from the start. And as Raziel said from Defiance, Kain wasn't given much of an option. He was practically given a bad deck to play with, and practically he was set up from the start. As Kain would say, the game is rigged. And that's practically in this story what Legacy of Kain is. Everything's rigged. Despite what decision Kain makes, there's a negative outcome. There's like a catch to it. Overall, I like this series. This game is a good start to the right direction to kickstart many of the other great games that would come along. Legacy of Kain, I'm giving this score of 5 out of 5. It is a great top-down action platformer with a lot of substance and a lot of cool stuff. Now, when it comes to soundtrack, it is somewhat up there. It's good, but it's not as memorable as the Soul Reaver series. But it's still up there. It's pretty good. Anyways, guys, I hope you like my review. Please like, share, subscribe. Until next time, I'll see you later.